5 years ago, we were both in our early 30s. My wife is very, very beautiful and sexy, green eyes, beautiful face, fit, sexy body, big breasts. She is also intelligent, a professional with her own career and financial independence. Myself, women have always found me appealing. I had quite many girlfriends before we married 7 years ago. I'm also an independent professional with an excellent income and a prospective career. After we married, I have never cheated on my wife. My wife only has had one boyfriend before myself. Not that she says much about her first boyfriend, but the thing I know is that they haven't had any vaginal sex since she was virgin when we had sex together for first time. This is not a big surprise, since she have received quite a conservative education by her mother, a very, very restrictive one indeed. Currently, however, she is quite open and liberal with respect to sex. Our marriage was in the beginning difficult, mostly because of interfering parents and financial difficulties. We loved each other but have had quite serious fights and even thinking to divorce. 5 years ago, we have lived far from each other for 9 months, since I left for another country due to a job. She lived these 9 months in the city where we married and where also lives her former boyfriend. After these 9 months, she came to live with me and we never came back. When I left before this period of 9 months and left her alone, we were in quite bad period of our marriage, writing angry emails to each other or not calling each other for a week or so. During this time, she had both reason to cheat and opportunity. Former boyfriend is 10 years older than both of us, but kind of Don Juan, appealing to women, and I'm sure that he would not have missed opportunity to compensate for consummated relationship when he was dating her. Anyway, when, at the end of those 9 months, my wife and me reunited again, our relationship immediately improved and continues happy till these days. We have a baby daughter together and rely on each other and love each other. One thing that surprised me very much the first night after those 9 months of separation was a big change in the sexual behavior of my wife. During the first 2 years before the period I'm referring to, we had intense and relatively good sex life, but still she seldom was reaching orgasms. The night after the period of 9 months, she had 3 explosive orgasms, and in the weeks and months after that she have had a very strong sexual drive. She also became open to new things in bed, has been achieving orgasm every time we have had sex, even multiple orgasms, even crying after orgasm. Whatever you can imagine. It was a phase transition from enjoying sex but being conservative and quite passive to a sex machine. Currently, we still enjoy very intense sex, obviously not so explosive. My point is that such a change is usually associated by sexologists, psychologists with cheating, getting disinhibited, gaining new experiences when cheating, or feeling guilty. My delicate tries to understand what the reason for this brutal transition ended up with some semi-angry short comments because I missed you terribly. Maybe, or maybe not. Her former boyfriend is currently married with 2 children. He regularly sends my wife emails for her birthday and for Christmas. These emails are short and nearly formal, except the familiar pet name he calls her, and except some short comments which can be interpreted one way or another depending what you know and believe, but to me they are not totally innocent. Emails which don't even send kisses, but still. Where do I know about the emails? Okay, I started to become a spy maniac. After a considerable effort, I cracked my wife's passwords and can access her email. In addition, there have been occasionally some comments by my wife, very ambiguous ones, that could possibly mean something like, besides you are handsome and sometimes hot, and also a good friend and a good companion, there are men who are more men. I don't know in what sense, possibly better lovers, but more probably she means something like more authoritative, powerful, commanding. Not particularly myself, and it's known that some women, possibly many of them, value such features, although it's not much politically correct to admit it. Anyway, I am getting more and more obsessed with this old story of possible cheating, because I have been loyal during all these years and because I love her. Recently, I found what was a statement by the ex-boyfriend about backdoor sex. Well, with information that I have gathered over time with her conversations with him, I finally confronted her. After a good bit of interrogation, she admitted to having an affair. What irks me the most about all of this is that she isn't in any way remorseful. I have asked her for a timeline of what happened. She doesn't want to share that. I said that I wanted to contact the other man's spouse. She was completely against that as well. She isn't showing any sign of remorse. I don't want to divorce her, but I have grown more and more resentful. She said we had sex, so what? I have considered to have an affair to get revenge or some type of response out of her. I know I am not in a proper emotional state right now. It's not even the affair that is getting me mad. What's really getting at me is the fact she doesn't feel like she did anything wrong and is making me feel like the crazy one. I have always had a hunch about this affair. It's been eating away at me, just the curiosity in itself. I have suggested counseling. She tells me I need to get over it, that we don't need counseling. Sorry for the long story. I'd appreciate any opinions, tips, comparisons divided by criticisms ... by both sexes. Thanks. Story 2. I need to get this off my chest or my heart is going to explode. I don't even know if this is the right sub. Just looking for advice, how to feel, what to do. She's always been very selfish. I knew this when I met her. I was reminded after we had 2 beautiful kids together and she cheated on me for months with her dad's best friend. I still took her back, still paid the bills, still put her through college, still wanted her to be happy no matter what. I wanted to raise my kids in a joint parent situation. I wanted to grow old together, buy a house, even in this shit economy. Front yard with pets, all that garbage. Now that she's been able to hold down a job for almost a year, she tells me she started talking to her mother again. Greatest example of a lazy, self-centered, trash person. Because even though my wife is the one who alienated her in the first place, after 4 years of not talking to her mommy, she's sad about missing her. Tell her it's fine. Her husband better not come around ever, but whatever. She's way too grateful. Says that she had it built up in her head that I'm the only reason they weren't talking when she's the one who told me to tell her no matter what. I know this is all over the place, but on the subject of blame, she also blames me for killing the marriage 4 years ago when she was pregnant with our second. She constantly tried to initiate, but as soon as she hit halfway, I started telling her no. I didn't know what caused our first to be several months premature, but hell if I was going to be the cause this time. She keeps saying that's where her mind keeps going. I neglected her first. Practically forced her into cheating, not mentioning it was a year after. The years between then and now apparently mean nothing. I asked her about watching TV together, clinging to me on the couch, all the back rubs, all the smiling glances when she had stars in her eyes that I put there. A week ago we were fine. She just said it hasn't been a week since the last time we fought, but it has. I journal everything. I showed her proof that we fight maybe once a month, but we skipped most of March and all of January, that it's healthy to disagree occasionally. But she said, verbatim, that no fighting should ever happen. We shouldn't disagree on anything. We need to like all the same things, or it means raising our kids in this toxic environment. Everything should just be simple, no work involved. People shouldn't need to have sex more than once every 2 weeks or longer. It should be fine to be on separate schedules and only see each other once a week. If it's love, it should just happen. She's the one who brought up counseling repeatedly, but this time I called her on it. It's free through insurance. Fuck it, let's go. All of a sudden she couldn't find the number. She found it pretty quick when I started dialing her stepmother, but then she was chanting that it wouldn't work. No time, no babysitter, etc. I put my foot down, said I'm scheduling it, we're going, so she finally broke. Said fine. The only reason it won't work is because she doesn't want it to. And the best part, she says the last time she meant it when she said she loved me was in 2013. At that point I just snapped. Giggling like an idiot, I told her yes, absolutely, I agree 100%. Divorce is the only constant in this universe. What the hell, let's do this. I looked up all the fees, started helping her find a place, and at first it was cathartic. My brain couldn't stop repeating not my problem anymore. But now at work I feel different. Hollow, blood in my ears, weight on my chest, the same way I always feel after she goes to stay with family, or says she wants a divorce after a really good day together. Completely blindsided for what is probably the 6th time. And I don't know how to feel. I'm trying so hard to cut her out of my heart, but it's still so painful. I'm numb, but I hurt so badly. I love her so much, but now I just want her gone. I don't know how to see her at home until she finds a place, but I don't have the money to make it go any faster.